Hello students, in this class we will study the resultant of two forces and we will also study how to calculate the force between multiple charges. Then before going to study the superposition of principle and to calculate the force between multiple charges, first we will study resultant of two forces. Resultant of two forces inclined at an angle theta. Two forces, generally you can use it for any vectors, any two vectors. Then suppose we have two forces like this. This is one force, this is another force. Let me call this as F1 and this is F2. Then the resultant of these two forces, as we studied in class 11th, is calculated by using either triangle law or parallelogram law. So to calculate the resultant of these two forces, I will complete this parallelogram. If this is F1, this is F2, angle between them is theta. And this is also F2, vector F2, this is F1. If I draw a perpendicular from here, then this will be F2. This angle is theta, this angle is theta, because these are corresponding angles, angle between F1 and F2. This F2 can be resolved into two components. Or since this is 90 degree, this is opposite. Opposite means this value will be F2 sin theta and this value will be from here to here, it will be F2 cos theta. How to calculate the resultant of these two forces is, we know that resultant is given by F net or Fr is equal to root of, like first here, if these two vectors are A and this is vector is A and B, inclined at an angle theta, root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, that formula you remember. Then this will be F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. This is the magnitude of the resultant. That means from this equation, what we understand is the resultant of two vectors depends on angle theta between two vectors or between two forces. Then for different values of theta, we will get different value of resultant. So resultant depends on angle theta. This I will write here. This is value of theta. Then I will write here the value of Fr, okay. Then in this column we will write value of Fr when F1 is equal to F2. Let us call F1 is equal to F2 when both the vectors are equal in magnitudes. Then if value of theta is 0 degree, what is Fr? See, F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos 0. This will be cos 0 is 1. Then inside root, this will be F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2. That means A square plus B square plus 2AB form. That means inside root I will get F1 plus F2 whole square. This root and square will get cancelled. Then I will get Fr is equal to F1 plus F2. Okay. Then what is, suppose F1 is equal to F2. If both is equal to F, let's take same force, both equal to F. Then I will get Fr is equal to force resultant is equal to what you get 2F. See, what is the meaning is, if angle is 0, two forces are there. If angle between these two forces is 0 degree, then resultant is just sum of the two vectors. If both are equal, then if one is equal to 10, another is equal to 10, then just 2 times of 10. If theta is equal to 60 degree, I will select only those values of angles which we commonly come across while solving the force between multiple charges. Then if theta is equal to 60 degree, then F resultant will be root of, see, this is 60, cos 60 is half, these two get cancelled. Inside root I will get F1 square plus F2 square plus F1 F2. If these two forces will be equal, F1 is equal to F2 is equal to F1, then what will be the F resultant? You see, F resultant, this is F square plus F into F square. Then inside root I will get 3F square, root of 3F square. Root of 3F square means root 3, root of F square is F. That means F resultant I will get any one force multiplied by root 3. Okay, followed? If theta is equal to 90 degree, then F resultant will be equal to root of cos 90 is 0. This term completely becomes 0. That means we get only F1 square plus F2 square. F1 square plus F2 square. Okay. Then what is F resultant? F resultant will be equal to, if both these are equal, F square plus F square. Inside root I will get 2F square. Then this will be F outside multiplied by root. Okay. If theta is equal to 180, then F 180 or 120 I will take first, then we will take 180. See, these are the important shortcuts which we remember while solving the problems related to principle of superposition or while calculating the force between multiple charges. Okay, this will be F1 square plus F2 square. F2 square, cos 120 is minus half. This 2 get cancelled. Then I will get here F1 F2. That means F1 square, if these two will be equal, F square plus F square minus F square, then inside root I will get root of only 1 F square, which is equal to just simply F. Okay. If theta is equal to 180, then I will get F resultant is equal to cos 180 is minus 1. This is F square plus F1 square plus F2 square minus F1 F2, A minus B whole square inside root. Then I will get F1 minus F2. Then F resultant for this, if both these are equal, that value will be 0. Okay. Resultant depends on value of theta, and resultant directly you can take if both the vectors are equal, then you can use this formula. Suppose for example, first we will calculate the direction, then we will see. Okay, this is about resultant. See, if two vectors are equal, angle is 60, take any one vector multiplied by root 3. If two vectors are equal, if angle is 90, take any one vector multiplied by root. Okay. That means see, this is there. See, this is one force F, this is another force F. Both are equal in magnitudes. If angle between them is 60 degree, then F net will be directly equal to, again you need not to go to this formula to calculate net force. Net force will be F root 3. If this force is F this force is F, angle between them is 90 degree, then according to this formula, if both the forces are equal, then what is net force? Net force is F root 2. To write this as F root 2, these must be equal. Okay? Then, if one force is F and another force is F and angle between them is 120, then the resultant will be just F. If both the forces are equal, angle is 120, resultant will be just F. These three are special case you have to remember. If theta is equal to 0, this will be F1 plus F2. If theta is equal to 180, it will be F1 minus F2. This 60, 120 and 90. These are the common angles which will come across the solving the problems related to force between multiple charges. Okay? These are the three formulae. Then how to calculate the direction of resultant? All these formulae gives me only magnitude of the resultant. Direction of the resultant, how to calculate it? Resultant is given by, see, Fr is equal to, I know what is this, F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 times F1 F2. Then this is the resultant. Direction of the resultant, how it will be given? Direction of the resultant. See, to calculate the direction of resultant, what we'll see? We'll see as suppose this is the resultant. This is resultant. We'll take any one of these two vectors. For example, let me take vector F1. What is the angle between F1 and F resultant? Let us denote this angle by alpha. Then, what is alpha? It is the angle between any one force I have selected out of F1 and F2 and F resultant. Angle between F1 and Fr. If we calculate the tan value or tangent of angle between F resultant and F1, tangent of this angle, and tan alpha. If you calculate tan alpha, it gives direction of resultant in terms of angle. That means how much angle it is making with F1. That means suppose if this is F1, if I say that resultant is making 30 degree with F1, then resultant may be here. If resultant is making 60 degree with F1, resultant will be here. If resultant is making 90 degree with F1, then I will get the idea of direction of Fr. Resultant will be here if it is making 90 degree. That means if I calculate these values of these angles, this is tan alpha, then that will give me the idea of resultant, how much slope it is making with the horizontal vector. Or tan, which is simply tan alpha will be equal. What is tan alpha? You see, opposite by adjacent. What is my opposite in magnitude now? F2 sin theta divided by adjacent is F1 plus this much. What is F1? This is force 1. Then F2 cos theta. This equation will give the direction. This equation will give the magnitude of the resultant, and this equation gives the direction of the resultant. If two forces are equal, see, this is F, this is F. Angle between them is theta. If the forces are equal, if I say if F1 is equal to F2 is equal to F, then what will be tan alpha? Tan alpha is equal to, this is F sin theta divided by F plus F cos theta. And then take F outside, cancel F and F. I will get sin theta divided by 1 plus cos theta. What is sin theta? This is 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2 alone. using sine 2 theta formula, then 1 plus cos theta will be 2 cos square theta by 2. Then if I write like this will be tan alpha is equal to this 2 get cancelled. I will get 1 cos theta by 2, 1 cos theta by 2 get cancelled. Sin theta by 2 divided by cos theta by 2. Then this will be tan theta by 2, which implies that alpha is equal to what? Theta by 2. That means this resultant will make an angle with this vector. What is that angle? Is theta by 2. Then what is this angle? This angle will be also theta by 2. What it means is, if two vectors are equal in magnitudes, then F resultant will be always the angle bisector of these two vectors. If this angle is 60, F resultant will make 30 degree with each force. If this angle is 90, F resultant will make 45 degree with each force. That means if two forces are equal in magnitudes, then always resultant will be angle bisector. Whatever angle is there, that angle will be divided exactly into two halves. That means this is angle bisector. Okay, you followed this? Remember all these values, which helps us to calculate the net force on the given charge. See, this is a system of charge. Usually when we have a system of charge, force between multiple charges. Here I will take the help of Coulomb's law and this resultant of vectors. Force between multiple charges, or it is principle of superposition. How to calculate this thing? Suppose we have some 2-3 charges here. One charge is here. Let us take it as Q1. Another charge is here, Q2. In this system of charge, we have this is another charge Q3. This we have another charge Q4. Like this, another charge Q5. You can take as many charges you want. In this system, if I want to calculate this Q2, I will take it here. I will take Q3 here. If I want to calculate the net force acting on any one charge due to all other charges of the system, then I will take this, I will consider this as given charge as Q1. Then I want to calculate the net force acting on Q1 due to remaining charges. That means on Q1, how many charges are exerting the force? This will be the force on 1 due to second charge. This will be the force on 1 due to third charge. This will be the force on 1 due to fourth charge. See, if I write here F14, force is acting on one charge, first charge, because of this Q4, force on Q1 due to Q4. Then this will be force on Q1 due to Q5. How many forces are acting on Q1 is acted upon by 4 other forces. Then if I want to calculate the net force acting on Q1, I will use this principle. What this principle says is, according to that principle, net force or resultant force, net force acting on any charge or any given charge net force acting on a given charge that I am considering as Q1 is equal to vector sum of all the forces, vector sum of the forces due to all the forces are just forces. The force vector sum of forces due to all other charges of the system. All other charges of the system taken at once. That means we'll assume that all the charges are exerting force on Q1 simultaneously. That means the net force on Q1, will be equal to force on Q1 1 due to 2 plus force on 1 due to 3, force on 1 due to 4, force on 1 due to 5, and so on. If there is nth charge, and you can calculate up to nth charge. This is the vector sum of all the forces. Vector sum. And whenever we want to calculate vector sum, we have to consider the angle between these vectors, angle between these forces. Okay? Whatever we studied, how to take the resultant of two vectors, two forces, that will be very helpful to us in studying this principle. Follow this, make a note of this principle. We shall see the examples. Few examples we will study. Follow this. Okay. We will move on to examples. While calculating the vector sum, considering the angle between forces is very important. See. Suppose we will come across some 2-3 types of triangle. Suppose for example, if this is one triangle, this is an equilateral triangle ABC, which is having some similar charges placed at each corner, each vertex. The question is, calculate the force on charge placed at C. I want to calculate the total force acting on this charge. It means how many other charges are exerting force on charge placed at C? Charges placed at A and B are exerting force on charge placed at C. In what direction? You see, this Q, this is both, since both are positive, the charge placed at A will repel the charge at C along the line joining the two charges. This is very important. This repulsion will be like this. Let us take this is F1. The side of this equilateral triangle is L1. Then what is the magnitude of these two forces? Go to Coulomb's law. Then we say that this will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That I will take it as small k. Instead of writing 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, okay, let us write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, q into q square. Distance square is L square. Then what will be this force? See, again you are in place of writing 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, I will write small k. Small k is proportionality constant. It is not capital K. Capital K is what? Capital K is dielectric constant. Small k, this will be q square by L square, where small k is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then, what is the other force acting on this charge? This charge placed at B is repelling charge at C in this direction. Repulsion. See, repulsion will be always along the line joining the charges. If it is negative here, it would have attracted it like this. This is positive. So this force is F2. Again, charges are same, distance is same. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q into Q. This will be Q square by L square. Now the vector algebra. Resultant of two forces using vector resultant. How to calculate, that will be very helpful. Whether these two are equal in magnitude. Yes, F1 is equal to F2. Each is equal to KQ square by L square. We have seen that magnitudes of these two forces are equal. Then you also observe the angle between these two vectors. This is F1, this is F2. Angle between them is 60 degree, because this angle is 60 degree. These two forces are inclined in an angle theta and they are equal. Directly we can write net force acting on a charge placed at C will be equal to, see, two equal forces, angle is 60. Then I will write it as F root 3, which we studied in that table. F root 3. Then F net is equal to, what is F? What is F? This much. Then I write root 3 multiply by KQ square by L square. In one step you can write net force, if you remember that table. Okay, this is root 3 KQ square by L square. If you want, you can replace K by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. In the options, if it is there, net force is equal to, I can write this as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught root 3 Q square by L square. Okay? This is how we will calculate net force. This is one example. In the next example, we will see, we will change the nature of the charges. Same question will be there. This is again equilateral triangle ABC. Let me take it as this as minus Q. This is plus Q. This is plus Q. Now you see, each side is equal to L. This charge placed at A will attract charge at C in this direction, because it is negative, it is positive. Then one force will be acting in this direction, which I call it as F1. What is F1 now? Same formula, multiplied by K multiplied by magnitude of these two charges, Q into Q, don't take minus, we are taking magnitudes, Q square by L square. Again this charge will be repelling it like this. See, F1 direction is like this. These two are positive, this charge will repel it like this. This will be F2. I will write this as plus Q this side. Then F2, which is also equal to KQ square by L square. Then carefully observe the angle. One force is like this, another force is like this. This inside angle is 60, but this angle, force between these two charge, angle between these two forces will be 120. Then I say, forces are equal in magnitudes and angle is 120. F1 is equal to F2 is equal to F is there, which is KQ square by L square. Angle is 120. Then F net is also equal to KQ square by L square. Observe? That is, both are equal. I told you in this table, that table you remember, if both the forces are equal, each equal to F, then resultant is also equal to F if angle is 120. Okay? Nice. Some more examples we will see. if I see here, this is Q, this is Q, this is Q, this is Q. Let us take this as A, B, C. I will write this as D. This corner is D. Charge placed here is also Q. D. This is Q. Now the question is, calculate net force acting on charge placed at any one corner. Any corner charge you can take. Let me take it as C, or D you can take, or B you can take, or U you can take. Any corner. Okay. Let us see. On this charge, how many forces are acting? Each side is L, because this is a square. L. This charge is repelling it like this, in this direction. Let us call it as F1. This charge is repelling it like this, in this direction F2. This charge is repelling it like this, along the line joining the two charges. Let us call this as F3. See, for F1 and F2, charges and distances same. For F3, again charges are same but distance is different. This is L, this is L. Pythagoras theorem, this is root L, root 2L. Then can you tell me what is the magnitude of F1? F1 is this. Again 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by L square. What is F2 magnitude? This will be same. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught k q square by L square. F3 will be different, because distance changes. F3 is k q square by L square, means this distance square, not just L square, root 2L whole square. Root 2L whole square. This will be k q square by 2L square. These two forces are equal. See, I told you what is the angle between F1 and F2. F1 is equal to F, F2 is also equal to F. Angle between these two is 90 degree. Since these are equal, resultant is what? F12, which exactly lies along F3. Because if these two forces are equal, resultant will be angle bisector, I told. Then what is the resultant of F12? 1 and 2 resultant. Resultant, these two are equal, angle is 90. So what is resultant? Root 2 multiply this by this force, k q square by L square. Then this is resultant of 1 and 2. Now you see F12 and F3 different in magnitudes, but along the same direction. Theta between them is 0 degree. What is the angle between F12 and F3? F12 and F3 are in the same direction. Angle between them is 0. That means F12 and F3. F12 stands for resultant of F1 and F2. Are in same direction. Then what will be F net? F net is equal to F12 plus F3. Then F net is equal to root 2 k q square by L square plus k q square by 2L square. This is k q square by 2L square. This will be equal to k q square by L square common. This will be root 2 plus half. If you want, you can simplify it again. F net will be equal to k anta what is k? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by L square. This will be 2 root 2 plus 1. 2 root 2 plus 1 root 2. This is net force. Following? Okay? Now, in what cases net force will be 0? Suppose for example, if I take this example number 4. This is Q, this is Q, this is Q, this is Q. If there is a charge which is charge of magnitude capital Q placed at the center. Okay. Example number 4. I will write this as example. This is Q, this is Q, this is Q, this is Q. There is one charge I have placed at the center. This is minus Q, this is minus Q, this is plus Q, this is plus Q. This is next example. This will be Q, this is minus Q, this is minus Q, this is plus Q, this is plus Q. This is minus Q. Now I want to calculate the net force acting on charge placed at the center. Here this charge will repel it like this. Along this direction, and this will repel it like this along this direction. This distance will be same, charges are same. These two will be cancelled, these two forces. This will repel it like this, and this will repel it like this. These two forces will be cancelled. What is the net force acting on capital Q? 0. Will it be 0 here? See, this force will be repelling at this charge, this charge. This charge is repelling in this direction. These two are cancelling. This charge is attracting it like this, and this minus charge is attracting it like this. So these two are cancelling each other. F net will be 0. In this figure you see whether it will be 0 or not. This charge plus Q is repelling capital Q in this direction. Like this. With how much force? Let us call this distance as x. This is L, this is L, this is L. See, in the square, what is this distance from corner to center? Corner to center distance, how much it will be? L by root 2. This distance is L, this is L. This is root 2L. And this is half of root 2L. See, this is L. I want to calculate this distance. See, this is L, this is L. Then what will be this diagonal? Root 2L. And this will be half of the diagonal, root 2L by 2. This will be L by root 2. Root 2L, root 2 into root 2. This will be L by root 2. This corner to center distance will be L by root 2. See, this charge is repelling it like this, and this minus Q is attracting this charge in this direction. That means net force due to these two charges will be acting in this direction, same direction. Both the forces are equal in magnitudes and they are in the same direction. This charge will be repelling it like this in this direction, and this minus Q is able to attract it in this direction. Then what will be the net force acting in this direction? This will be charge force here. You see, each charge placed at the corner is exerting a force like this. F1 will be equal to, this is F1, F2, F3, F4. F1 is equal to, F2 is equal to, F3 is equal to F4. All forces will be equal to this Q into small k 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, q into q, small q into capital Q, divided by x square. This distance is x for all. X is what? L by root 2 whole square. Then F1 is equal to, F2 is equal to, F3 is equal to, F4 is equal to, this will be K small q into capital Q by L square, root 2 whole square. Root 2 whole square is 2. Then this 2 will come here. I will write this 2 here. That means each force is equal to 2 times of Q square by L square. Followed? Each force is equal to like this. Then such each, that is F, 2 forces will be acting in this direction. That resultant is 2F. Followed? Each force is equal to F. F exerted by this charge, F exerted by this charge. Then in this direction how much force will act? 2F force will act. This will exert F. This minus Q will attract by F force. In this direction again 2F force will act. This 2F and 2F are making 90 degree with each other. Then what will be the net force? This net force will be equal to 2F. Each force is 2F. See, what is F? What is F? This is F. Each force is 2F. Angle is 90. Then what is F net? Root 2 multiplied by 2F. Just multiplied by root. Each force is 2F. Angle is 90. So multiply by root 2. Then this F net will be equal to 2 root 2 into F. What is F? All the forces are equal, same. F is KQ divided by L square. This is 2 times, no? This is 2. Then overall will be equal to 4 root 2 K small q capital Q divided by L square. If you want to replace K by 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. Then this is 4 root 2 1 by 4 by epsilon naught small q capital Q by L square. Finally I can write this as F net is equal to, if you want to simplify, cancel it like this. This will be root 2 small q capital Q divided by pi epsilon naught L square. Followed? See, these are some examples based on how to calculate the net force. Some other examples we'll do it in the next video. Okay? Thank you. Cut